Hey everybody, it's Pete. Welcome to a new episode of today's Best Stock Picks. We are creating a trading game plan for Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021, and a interesting day on the market today. We actually challenged the market heading into the day today. All right, stock market, open up higher and stay there. That was the biggest thing that we were looking for today. We actually said that when you understand tape reading, you need a line in the sand. And today's line in the sand was the weekly opening price. So I want to strongly suggest, for lack of a better way of putting it, this week I'm going to be focusing on, and I highly recommend you do the same thing, focus on the weekly charts this week. Don't look at the daily charts as much. We're going to take a look at some setups, but determining whether or not we're getting follow through, determining whether or not we should have that conviction in the follow through, I'm going to be glued to the weekly charts this week. So we have the opening price on a lot of the stocks that we watch, as well as the market and the ETFs and that kind of stuff. Let's call that the Monday opening price. We're going to be looking at that. So we're going to be keeping an eye on the weekly charts. If we stay above that, we're going to keep raising our conviction level and looking to size up or maybe even add to winning trades. If we don't, we're going to scale back, get out, or stay on the sidelines and not do anything. Having those lines in the sand are what separates somebody who's chart reading to tape reading. And I got a lot of good ideas for you today. So stick around. We'll be back in 1 second. Okay, so unfortunately, we got to keep putting that up. We're about the WhatsApp idea. Look, I do not post WhatsApp phone number at all. There's somebody impersonating me. Please do not answer anything in WhatsApp in the comments. I don't know what's going on, but I guess it's flattery when somebody's impersonating you. I have no idea. I can tell you it's annoying. So what are we going to focus on right now? We're actually going to make our way over into, first, as we do every day, we're going to take a look at the market. And then we're going to drill our way down into sector rotation. So we're going to zoom over here. And what we got out of the market is exactly what we could have wanted. The SPY found support at the 50-period moving average. And we talk about this on a regular basis. You need to know what the key levels are. And you can see here in 2021 so far, right here, once, got back above twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. Write that down. The 50-period moving average is a big level in the SPY ETF, right? Found buyers, got back above Friday's high, closed the gap. Everything looks exactly as the bulls could have possibly wanted. However, 2 big glaring things that are sticking out right now. And this is what separates somebody who's dabbling in stocks from somebody who can't wait to get involved and just can't do enough research or game planning or scanning and that kind of stuff. The kind of person that flips through as many charts as night to find clues. Here's the 2 things that still have me tiptoeing into ideas right now. Number 1 is the amount of breakouts that we have. The amount of breakouts that we have has been dramatically reduced. So there isn't market leadership right now. There isn't sectors that are punching through. And we're going to take a look at the sectors in a second. Second, one of the scans that I run every day is I'm scanning for order flow. At the end of every single day, I'm in there and I'm like, okay, show me where the smart money's stepping up so I can pay attention. Show me where I can either make a trading game plan and those stocks are going to go into the watch list for the next day, or tell me something that I could take a look at and keep on my radar so that I'll put that in my tracking journal, set an alert, and then take a look at that stock, which, by the way, that's something very important I want to talk about because it's something that we talk about every day in our community, which is the difference between that's the price I want to get in versus let me know when it gets to that price. That price when I want to get in means there's room to go. It's order flow in front of it. It gets up there, I'm going to place a buy stop and get into that trade. That versus that's a really big level, but there's no order flow. Let me know when it gets there is an alert. Something that you really need to learn how to use if you want to elevate your trading. Buy stop at that price, you want to get in, versus an alert at that price, you want to evaluate if you should get in. Get comfortable with both of those types of situations. And more importantly, get comfortable with planning both of those. Very, very important. It will give you a leg up on having to find new ideas all the time because you already have the ideas. You can, again, like we do in our community, you want to script the success. And then when the market opens, the week opens, you're really just following the plan instead of looking for something to do. So we're going to work our way over right now. We're going to head on over into the sectors as we do every day, and should not be a shock at all the way the market traded last week. The 5-day performance, which is the week here, just absolutely putrid. Nothing really to get excited about. Last week, basic materials and industrials were dragging. Industrials and basic materials found a little bit of buying today. You can see here, but what we're going to focus on right now is the energy stocks from today, and specifically oil and gas stocks. That's what's going to have our attention today. So we're going to work on the one stock that we mentioned last night as well as coming into today. We said that CPE, you can see the symbol here, in a trading range between 48 and 52. We're not going to do anything until it gets out of that range with conviction. Today, that happened. So you can see the price we broke through, as well as looking at the volume. Volume expanded, exactly what we would want to see through this level. So all systems are go to pay attention to the energy sector. So I'm going to give you some ideas across the board. If you happen to not be trading these stocks every day, some of them are large caps, some of them trade a little bit less liquid, but they're all valid plays right now. But this is playing into the bigger picture here of how many stocks are actually breaking out. We have a few of them are breaking out. CPE is one of them. I'm going to give you a list, and you can go through and see which ones match your personal criteria. So let's head on over, and I'm going to show you what's on board right now. So CPE at the top of the list. FANG right at that breakout level again. A big question we get is, how do I get it before it breaks out? Well, there it is. You plan for it. You look and you attack the market from every different angle to let those ideas unfold. So CPE, FANG, HES right at that breakout level. EOG, again, going for market leadership, and not a coincidence. Again, found support right there. Working our way down the list, not necessarily as strong. COP, XOM, and Chevron, CVX. So that's where we're looking right now. But Chevron, obviously, in the middle of a wider trading range, not as much to do there. So now we're going to work our way over into some other ideas that are one big tech stock, probably one of the biggest tech stocks around other than Apple, resting comfortably right at all-time highs. And what am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about Microsoft. What a turnaround in the stock for the last 5 to 7 years. And now it's comfortably sitting right at all-time highs, up 1%, $3 today. We are looking for it to take off and produce new highs. Now, the last significant move in this stock was roughly $20. So that's the kind of move we're going to be looking at through this level. I want to come back on and just talk about one thing about buying stocks, and specifically buying stocks at all-time highs. We got great, really intense conversation yesterday in our community in reference to having a game plan for buying stocks at all-time highs. And for some reason, all-time highs have like this stigma or bad reputation that they fail. Look, I think that the mindset that professional traders have with breakouts, whether it's an all-time high or whether it's just breaking out from a recent trading range, which we're going to talk about MasterCard and Visa in a second, breakouts are the most beautiful trade you could possibly have. It works out right away and produces a really nice winner, or it's wrong right away and produces a small loss. I think the fact that it's at all-time highs, we kind of get this stigma that, oh, it's at all-time highs, it's going to keep going. Don't see it that way. A breakout's a breakout. The only thing really to consider is the overall market. What kind of order flow does it have heading into that? And specifically momentum. Is it up 7 days in a row and then it hit all-time highs? You buy that all-time high, you're probably going to get stuck holding the bag because it needs to pause. One that pushes up and pauses is about as beautiful as you could possibly get. Microsoft is kind of sitting there. Even though all of that is unfolding, it might not follow through, but we have to take the trade because it's the right trade to take. It's showing relative strength to the market. It showed relative strength today. It paused right at the highs. It's a good idea. If it follows through, great. If it doesn't, okay. That's a part of trading. But I want to get more across the thought process that I have, that a lot of professional traders have about buying breakouts. Doesn't matter if it's all-time highs or not. If it breaks out, you look for a spot to edge. You look for confirmation, like we're looking in CPE today. I didn't enter it today. I'm looking to enter it tomorrow. If it follows through, awesome. You'll usually get clean, good, quick follow-through. Here's something to write down. Real breakouts follow through. So you can't get mad at the ones that don't follow through. You simply take a small loss, and then you move on to the next trade. Remember, it takes one trade that follows through on these breakouts that pays for 3 or 4 smaller losses. So it's not the failed breakouts that should be bothering you. It's the failed breakouts that you held for a bigger loss that you shouldn't have. That's what's getting the bad reputation. So again, I love Microsoft. I'm going to be looking at Microsoft tomorrow. I will probably be calling it out in our community, provided that it actually opens up and gives us an entry, which, by the way, is something else I want to talk about, which is snow today. We called it out yesterday as one of our top ideas for the day, but we said over 250. This is a big part of trading that is a critical part of what I do. I want it to be moving in my favor. I want at least some sort of short-term bullish order flow heading in my favor if I won't, if in my in the direction I want it to go, assuming I want to be long. And I definitely want to be long here, but it needs to get above 250. Had somebody message me today, it's wrong. It's not wrong. I'm not even in it yet. Have that criteria. We were very specific even yesterday to talk about what a buy stop means and when to use it. It's not above there yet, so I'm not looking to do anything yet. Okay. Sliding over, I want to talk about a couple of other ideas that I really like for tomorrow. Other stocks I'm looking to buy tomorrow is Twitter. We were actually long this last week, got stopped out, pulled back on FOMC day, but it's right back up there again. And I hope I can really teach this to you. It's just imperative to have on your radar re-entries into ideas that you love. Short term, it's going to have this gap fill. Longer term, we're going to be looking up into the mid 70s. So I really like this for follow through tomorrow. Another one is Fubo. This stock is performing really, really well. We have a push and a pause, a push and a pause, a push and a longer pause, and then a nice breakout here. You can see it's right at resistance. If it clears this resistance, it has $10 to go. DoorDash is another one. Really good, clean price action. Now, here's the difference between those two. DoorDash broke resistance, which you can see over here. It finally got through this level. But, and I want to make this clear, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row of DoorDash now to the upside. It's a valid idea from a scanning perspective. I'm not looking to buy it tomorrow. I want to see it pause after this 8-day rally, hold above 160, 165 in that area, and then I'm looking for a run to 200. So again, remember the difference between the game plan and the tracking journal. DoorDash is in my tracking journal right now. And finishing up, as I said, we have some really good other clean trades today. EW actually coming out of a really good, clean, classic bull flag, looking for some follow through. That bull flag's holding right at $100, and that one looks really, really solid for tomorrow. So that's what I have for tomorrow. I want to say I'm not sizing up right now. Today was great. It was exactly what we wanted to. I'm going in with less share size still, and I want feedback from the market. Show me that they're going to hold the bids. Show me that you're going to hold higher lows and pay higher highs. Then I'll start to work the position a little bit higher. That is smart trading in a market where I have a little bit lower conviction, and that's not my opinion. That's looking at the sectors and the sector rotation. We just don't have that clean, let's go get it. If that starts to unfold, we're going to have a head start on some of these swing trades, and we'll look to add to those positions. So if you find these videos helpful, I just want you to know how grateful I am that you're choosing to be with me here on these videos on a daily basis. We gave away the hat. You see the hat last week. We gave that away over the weekend. Thank you for participating in that. We also have a webinar we're going to be doing soon. Looking for an announcement about that too. I want to have a Q&A. We talked about the other day about what are your biggest challenges. I'd love to have a Q&A about that, and I'd love to see if I can help you with that as well. So if you haven't done so already, give us a thumbs up. Let me know you like this kind of video. I would really appreciate it. Leave comments. It's the best way for us to have interaction and for me to help you. That really means a lot to me that I can reach out and help you. And if you haven't done so already, definitely click down and subscribe and hit that alert button so you get updates when new stuff comes out. So again, I'm very grateful that you're joining me today. We're focusing on energy stocks tomorrow. The last thing I want to talk about is Chinese electric vehicle stocks. Pretty strong, finally coming up for air, finally pausing. I'd love for nothing more than to see them pause for even 2 or 3 days and then hitch a ride to that next move. Solar stocks still in the game plan as well. Make sure you have them on there. JKS, RUN, ENPH, CSIQ. That's the list over there too. Have an awesome night. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here.